Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bourbon Hutch, and thanks so much for joining me on this journey through the world of whiskey. Today we're going to be doing a review of a really interesting and honestly really surprising bottle of whiskey, and that's Redwood Empire Lost Monarch. Let's get to it. Redwood Empire Lost Monarch. I mean, the name itself is pretty epic, isn't it? And so is the bottle. I mean, just the first thing you notice about this bottle and all of Redwood Empire's products on the shelves is just how beautiful the presentation is. Wonderful label, really interesting, unique artwork. Just so beautiful. Some stats on the whiskey in the bottle itself. It's a 90 proof blend of straight American whiskeys. So this falls into the really interesting and kind of unique category of bourye, a mix of bourbon and rye. Everything in the bottle is aged at least 3 years out in Northern California at Redwood Empire. And then they take the bourbon and they take the rye and they put them together into this sort of wonderfully magnificent blend. And I think magnificent is a good word because it's named after some of the largest trees in the world. All of Redwood Empire's products are named after humongous redwood trees out in California. This one's named after the Lost Monarch. So it's got sort of this mystical, ethereal vibe. It's very nature-based. The question is it good? Do the bourbon and the rye come together and mix well into this blended whiskey? Well, let's get into the nose and the palate and the finish, and we'll figure it out. So on the nose, oh man, it's a gorgeous nose, guys. It's so good. There's like lemon zest and orange zest that sort of jump right out of the glass. But then there are caramels and vanillas underneath that. Floral, bright, fruity, but fruity in the orange direction with some spice. Really wonderful and complex nose. It is almost exactly what you would imagine a really good rye and a really good bourbon coming together and mixing very well in the nose. I mean, you've got, brighter lemons and orange zest and some spiciness from the rye, and then you've got caramel and vanilla and maybe some cinnamon from the bourbon side of things. It's just delightful nose. You smell it and you're like 3 years old, coming from California of all places. I mean, man, check box number one for nose being excellent. Let's get into the palate. All right, so a lot of, what's on the nose transfers over to the palate. I get a lot of lemon and honey, almost like it's a tea with this herbal quality. Then there's something richer like caramel and sweet like vanilla. And then it kind of finishes off with a spiciness like black pepper and cinnamon. Really good. It's a really cohesive and complex experience for something that's so young, only 3 years old. Redwood Empire sort of check box number 2, because Redwood Empire is doing great things on the palate here too. The Lost Monarch hitting on all cylinders. Now let's go back into the palate one more time and focus on the finish. Now that time I got definitely more floral, little more zesty orange on that one, and transitioning again into that like slightly spicier, zestier finish. I think there's a word that's coming up a lot, which is zesty. I think it's got this zestiness with this underlying bourbon richness and sweetness. Really fantastic pour. Redwood Empire is available for somewhere around $35 to $40 in my area. I know some people can get it lower than that, around $30. Either way, it's a great buy. Pretty much an absolute steal if you're getting it at $30. One of the best noses you're gonna smell on most any whiskey, to be honest. I know Redwood Empire has 2 other products. Looking forward to trying those, both the bourbon and the rye, the Emerald Giant, I think. I forget what the bourbon's called. But I also have like some more limited special releases that I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for in the future, because this is my first experience with Redwood Empire and they just knocked it out of the park. There's something really, really delightful about the mix of bourbon and rye. You get sort of the best of both worlds here at a great, great price. And that's exceptional. Exceptional value and exceptional whiskey. If you've tried Redwood Empire Lost Monarch or any of the other products, please feel free to comment down below. What did you think? What's your favorite of the lineup? Which one should I try next? Do you want to see me put, this Lost Monarch up against anything else that I have in the hutch? If you want to check out everything I've got in the hutch, I actually did do a little brief collection overview, which I'll link to up here somewhere. Other than that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Until I see you guys in another video, all I can say is keep drinking good whiskey and cheers.